What's up, dudes? Max here, and pretty early in the morning, about 5:20 a.m. on Friday, December 5th right now, 2014. It's important to identify that because the Street Fighter V trailer leaked early today, and some of you might have had a chance to see it. I did put the trailer on my channel, and select channels started taking it down rather rapidly, meaning that it was a mistake on the end of Sony, or somebody put the trailer up early on some channel. And I had it up for a while, but I was requested by a good friend at Capcom. Looks like those guys are kind of going nuts right now to take it down. And I have no problem doing that. The guys at Capcom have supported me. I've done stuff for them over many years, and it's not up on the channel anymore, but it will be as soon as it's officially revealed. But it doesn't mean we can't talk about it and potentially go over some stuff like stills and screens, which are kind of everywhere right now. So let's talk a bit about the footage we saw for Street Fighter V and kind of deduct what we're looking at right now. The crazy thing is that there might be actually something playable at the PlayStation event, which would be absolutely amazing. And also Capcom Cup is coming up fairly soon, which I will be going to as well. And if you remember before, Ono was telling people that the press should probably sign up to go to Capcom Cup. So I'm guessing that you're actually going to be able to play the game in some method while you're at that event, which is, oh my god, if I'm less than like a week away from playing Street Fighter V, I don't even want to think about it right now. I've got so much work on my plate. But let's quickly talk about it. The one thing we can pull from the trailer was that the characters look pretty unique. They all look like Street Fighter characters. Ryu still looks like Ryu. Chun-Li still looks like Chun-Li, and they only show those two characters. But when you kind of put them next to their Street Fighter 4 versions, you realize they're not nearly as bulky. Like, Street Fighter 4 kind of has this very chunky, bulky look to the entire game. And that was by design. The lead designer, Daigo Ikeno, is the dude that's been doing art for the Street Fighter series for freaking ever, practically. He did all the art for Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, a ton of games before that. He also did Street Fighter 4, and he designed them to be really bulky, and they definitely don't appear that way. Chun-Li absolutely looks a lot more like the Ultimate Marvel 3 version, where she's a lot slimmer and kind of has a different overall look than the Chun-Li we've seen in Street Fighter 4. Ryu is still a pretty beefy dude. He's still a very muscular guy, but you can kind of tell around some angles of the face that the art style is definitely changing for this game. And when you put these screenshots next to each other from Street Fighter 4 to Street Fighter 5, you can definitely tell a pretty big difference. The graphics leap is not absolutely huge, I don't think. It doesn't look like the game is very far. This is just a teaser, and specifically the video was only titled Teaser Trailer and didn't even have anything mentioning Street Fighter in it, which is why it was leaked. But regardless, we all saw it. We all got to look at some stuff in motion. We saw a super art. We saw Ryu throwing a Shinko Hadouken. We saw Ryu doing probably like a big Tatsumaki. Like, he does like an EX Tatsumaki Senpukyaku, and the giant ink splatter follows him around. There's this huge like ink thing that is similar to the Street Fighter 4 series, but now it kind of tracks you a little bit better. And they're fighting on this kind of like Chinese streets thing. This is kind of what I find really weird. Follow me here for a sec. What I find really weird about the entire thing looking-wise, the visual aesthetic of it, is that it very much looks like a Tekken game. It's kind of surprising how the lighting, the way everything kind of is saturated, very much looks kind of like Tekken 7 or even Tekken 6 does, in terms of how the characters are structured. It's more of a very realistic look instead of the more cartoony look that they took in Street Fighter 4 series. So because of that, you get characters that kind of look like Tekken characters, which is kind of interesting. It's a different design than I was thinking that what they would go with. I thought they would actually go with a little bit more of the anime style, kind of like, you know, the Street Fighter 2 to Street Fighter Alpha type stuff, but in terms of the character's age, it doesn't look like it takes place beyond Street Fighter 4. Some of you guys might be remembering, I made a video about a month and a half ago saying Street Fighter 5 is coming. We had confirmation that there was developers working with Capcom that already worked on the previous Street Fighter 4 game, and they made an announcement that we're working with Capcom once again, so yeah, that was a pretty big tip. Putting everything out there that they're working on Street Fighter 5. I guarantee you, Darkstalkers doesn't make sense. A Capcom All-Stars, I would absolutely love. I'm saying they're working on Street Fighter 5, and luckily it ended up being true, and I'm glad my deduction logic is still working out pretty well. But from what we have seen so far, what do you guys think of Street Fighter V? The other big announcement, and the thing I haven't announced yet, is the fact that it is confirmed this is going to be showing at a PlayStation event, and the game is a PlayStation 4 and PC exclusive. And that's some pretty big freaking news, especially considering it's taking out the Wii, the Nintendo version, as well as the Xbox One version. That's kind of amazing. I don't know if I absolutely agree with it, but regardless, like I said, I don't play games for console exclusivity. I play games because I like games, and I don't like consoles. But I like more people being able to play games, and just for the sake I wish Killer Instinct was on every system. I wish Street Fighter V was on every system as well, so that's kind of my whole take on the situation. But as always, guys, thank you a ton for watching. Thank you a ton for hanging out. There's probably more news we're going to be getting very soon about this entire situation, and there's a lot of stuff that Ono and some of the Street Fighter guys have been talking about free-to-play models in the PC version of Street Fighter and what they might like the game to be, and I think those hints are probably making a hell of a lot of sense in comparison to what kind of like Street Fighter V could be on the PC market. Who knows, it might be trying to turn into the next League of Legends or something like that, but we'll find out a little bit more very soon. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching, thank you very much for tuning in. I'll be back with my reaction video as soon as I can use that footage from the trailer, and I'll be back with the official 1080p trailer as well. My name is Maximilian, and I'll see you guys next time.